What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Today we have the January 2023 Albuquerque Sunport International Airport update for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. Today we have an absolutely loaded Albuquerque Sunport International Airport update in store for you guys. We have so much going on. Not only do we have a few aircraft changes that are really cool for today's airport update, but I'm just going to show you guys this, and we'll get into this more later in the video, but we have so many special visitors in today's airport update. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video, and it's going to be an absolute blast, and my goodness, what a way to kick off 2023. We are starting off hot, and man, there is so much going on here at the Sunport. I don't even know where to begin because, man, this is one of the more loaded updates we've ever done on Albuquerque. Albuquerque is now going on year 5 as we enter 2023. I cannot believe that we have over 50 updates on this airport. Just incredible, and I want to thank you guys so much for all your support on this airport. It is truly a really cool mid-sized airport with so many unique elements, and I'm really glad to be able to do this airport for you guys. As you guys know, June will be the 5-year anniversary, and it will be my first airport to 5 years. Really cool, and I'm really excited for it, and I hope you guys are as well. Let's kick off 2023 on the right foot and get this airport update started, as like I said, we have so much to go into in today's airport update. I really hope you guys are excited for it, and let's get started. Currently loading up right here, we have the American Eagle Embraer J-175 on the behalf of SkyWest Airlines. This guy's of course making the non-stop turnaround out to the Los Angeles International Airport, LAX. This has been a very consistent service here at Albuquerque over the last 5 years, and I've been really glad to see its progression over back to 175s after the Compass situation. So glad you can see that right there, and that is absolutely awesome to say the least. Also, sorry guys, I'm trying to get my camera to fix itself because this macro thing is very frustrating at times. Nevertheless, we're doing our best, so you'll have to get to see it. Maybe if there we go, perfect. Okay. Yes, we do have 2 Delta Airlines Airbus A321s over here. This is looking fantastic. Sorry, the cat just spazzed in, but nevertheless. Alrighty guys, so we have a fantastic Delta section over here. It is looking fantastic. I'm super excited to get into this as we have some big changes. I cannot remember the last time we had 2 Delta Airlines Airbus A321s parked here simultaneously, but this is realistic and this is super exciting to see. So let's start off with the top one. This Delta Airlines Airbus A321 with Shotcut is currently making the non-stop service in from the Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport or Citrus Aviation's airport. Feel free to submit local fan pictures and subscribe routes. Link are in the description. We'll have some of those later in today's airport update. But the Atlanta service 3 daily Airbus A321s, one of the most consistent services here at the Sunport, and you love to get to see it right there. That is fantastic. Now, how about this? You guys are probably wondering, well, this is normally where the Atlanta flight is. Yes, it normally is, but how about this? We have this Delta Airlines Airbus A321 with Shotcut. This guy's currently making the non-stop service in from Salt Lake City, Utah International Airport. Finally, Delta Mainline returns for the first time in over a year to Salt Lake City, and this is such an awesome feeling. Over 2022, I just continue to talk about we need mainline in Salt Lake City. We need mainline in Salt Lake City. We need mainline in Salt Lake City. And it is finally back. It is 1 daily Airbus A321, and we still have 2 Embraer J-175s. This is a huge upgauge for Albuquerque, as this is the first time, like I said, since December 2020, I believe, we have mainline service to Salt Lake City, and that's just absolutely fantastic. It is such a cool route, and I'm super excited. Really excited for this, and it's going to be fantastic. So I'm really excited to see what's to come here with the Salt Lake City service, and it should be absolutely awesome. So we're really excited to see what's to come with this service, and it's going to be fantastic. So the upgauge has arrived. Delta Airlines Airbus A321, great way to start 2023. Non-stop service out to Salt Lake City, Utah, and this will be a backbone hopefully for many months to come, because I think this is a fantastic route, and I'm super excited to see where it's to come from here. Fantastic, and Delta making moves. We absolutely love to see it. This Delta connection, Embraer J-170 is on the behalf of SkyWest for an Embraer J-175 with enhanced winglets, of course. This guy's making the non-stop service today out to Los Angeles as well. Really cool service here for Delta. It's been a very good one, and I'm really excited to see where it goes in the future, because it is a very successful route here at the Sunport, and I'm very excited to see what they can do with it in the future. This Alaska Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 9 is in the West Coast Wonders livery, arguably one of the best GeminiJets models of 2022 in my opinion. This guy's currently making the non-stop service today out to Portland, Oregon after coming in earlier today from Seattle, Washington. Both those services have been fantastic for Alaska and backbone routes to say the least. I've been really glad to see the progression, and they're both on MAXs this month, so that's really cool to get to see. Both are daily services and are performing quite well, especially Portland compared to where it was. So like I said, this guy's coming in from Portland and heading out to Seattle. American Airlines is going very strong with their mainline section over here at Terminal B. So let's get started right here with the American Airlines Airbus A320. This guy's going to be making a non-stop service today in from Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. We'll be heading back out there. This flight, I think, is like 2 737s to 320. I believe it's 3 daily frequencies there. So glad to get to see that right there. And it's been a very successful route here at Albuquerque. So I'm super excited to see what the future holds for this route going into 2023. And the mainline's been fantastic, competing against Southwest, of course. So you love to get to see that right there. That's fantastic. This American Airlines Airbus A321 is sliding in for the first time in quite some time. This guy's currently making a non-stop service in from the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. I'm really glad to get to see 321s back making regular appearances here at Albuquerque to start 2023. The A321 is a really cool aircraft for American. They use it really in such a diverse amount of ways. So I'm really glad to get to see Albuquerque getting the kind of the respect, if you will, of the 321. I believe they're flying 3 or 4 of these in a day, which is really cool. So they have those in about 2 or 3 737s. So a really solid presence there for Dallas and one of the best performing markets here at Albuquerque, I would say. So glad to get to see that, and that's absolutely fantastic. This American Airlines Boeing 737-800 is currently making the non-stop service in from the Chicago O'Hare International Airport. I've been really glad to see the progression of Chicago. Sorry guys, the antennas just, I know it probably bugs some of you guys too, so that's why I try to fix them live. But nevertheless, really glad to see Chicago also doing super well, as it's a daily 737-800 right now. This is a very cool service for us, and I think it does really well. So I'm really excited to see what the future of the route holds, and I think it's going to be fantastic. So Chicago's a really cool one, and we love to get to see it right there for American. How about United Airlines also flying the main line to Chicago? This Airbus E319 is currently making the non-stop service in from San Francisco, California today. This guy's heading up to Chicago O'Hare International today. So glad you can see both those routes continuing very strong to start out the year. Both these services have been backbones for Albuquerque, especially that San Francisco service getting upgauged back in, I believe it was March when they upgauged this last year, and it's been a very consistent upgauge, as it's been 319s and even 320s in hot months. So not literally like the temperature, but you know, passenger speaking with passenger numbers. So I've been really glad to get to see that for United, and they've done a really good job on that. So I'm very excited to see what's to come, and I think it's going to be fantastic. So like I said, United Airlines Airbus E319 currently getting ready to push nonstop service out to Chicago after coming in from San Francisco. Alrighty, next up we have this United Airlines 737-800, this time in the Star Alliance livery. I can't believe this model's getting to 3 years old at this point. Nevertheless, this guy's currently making non-stop service today. This guy's coming in from the, Denver International Airport. There's a special reason why I'm not going to mention Houston yet. Glad you can see Denver doing well. It's 2 737-800s and a 320. So they've been doing really good with that service, and I'm glad to see the progression there for United on that service over to Denver. So really cool city. Love the Mile High City, and I'm really excited to visit again, hopefully in the near future. This Spirit Airlines Airbus A320neo is currently making non-stop service today. This guy is coming in from Las Vegas, and we'll be heading back out there. That is a daily A320neo service, and I'm very hopeful that they'll continue to expand their route network. I was talking with a friend, actually, Syracuse Aviation, the other day about this as of recording. I am recording this in early December, but nevertheless, we were talking about Breeze making an appearance at Albuquerque, which I think would be really cool. What I was saying was, though, Orlando and Tampa have no competition right now, so I think Breeze could certainly get in on that. But what I was going to mention on that as well is Spirit also could definitely take advantage of Orlando and possibly like a Fort Lauderdale or something, because also no flights to Florida out of Albuquerque. There has been Orlando in the past for various airlines, but unfortunately at the current time there are no services to MCO or even any airport in Florida like I was referencing. So I would really like to get to see some Florida services here. I know Allegiant was slated to start Sanford in 2020. Obvious reasons why that didn't happen, but again, hopefully it'll happen soon. But the baggage and everything is currently coming up for this Las Vegas flight. A very popular flight there for Spirit here at the Sunport. I'm very hopeful that it continues to progress in the near future as well. Southwest Airlines continues to progress very nicely here at Albuquerque. This 737-700 in the Maryland livery unfortunately cannot come in from Baltimore, because Baltimore is kind of dormant at the moment. I'm not sure what happened to it, but hopefully it'll be back soon. We do have news from Southwest that the Kansas City service will be returning on April 11th, 2023. That'll be very exciting because Kansas City is a really cool route. I'm not sure if it will be daily or not. I do need to check on that. Actually, I'll just check and put it in the video so you guys know what's going on with that.
Alrighty, how's it going, everybody? So we do have some updates here for Albuquerque, which is super exciting in reference to Southwest Airlines. So starting with that Kansas City service, that will be a daily service. I think it's going to start here in April, so that's, like I said, so that's very exciting. And then it's going to start as a 5 weekly, which will be Monday through Friday, but then it quickly goes up to daily. So that's a very exciting route to have back at the Sunport, and I think it's going to be a great component to the airport, so I'm certainly very excited for that. A couple of other route updates, which is very exciting. We have a Baltimore service, which is currently going to be Saturday only, along with St. San Antonio here in the summer. So I'm excited for both of those. Those are great routes, so I'm excited to see how we can build on those. And also, we have an announcement for Orlando International Airport, which will also be a Saturday-only service beginning July 15th. So I was briefly talking about Florida service. I think this is a good trial period for Southwest to see if they can be successful with a Saturday-only here. Like I said, I still think a Breeze or Allegiant or somebody along those lines would have more success on a route like that, but I think Southwest doing a Saturday only at the very least is probably going to be really successful for the Sunport. So hopefully they can build on that. I'm eager to see what the future holds for Albuquerque with reference to the route. So I'm really excited for it, and I hope you guys are too. But without any further delay, let's get back into the update, everybody.
Sorry guys, I'll try for the camera to not be as shaky, but nevertheless, this guy's currently making a non-stop flight today in from Burbank, and we'll be heading out to Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. Like I said, Southwest is doing really well. I hope they add some new services soon because I think there is quite a bit of route potential, whether it's Orlando or, you know, there's still quite a few routes thing, not even though they have ones like San Antonio and Kansas City and that sort of thing. I think they could definitely fly it to, you know, even like a Bosman or something would be really cool. Not sure how successful they would be on that, but I'm sure there's a couple routes they can add to say the least. So we'll have to see. Nevertheless, this 737-700 Canyon Blue with the blended winglets. Very excited for the NG model. So you guys may have seen a review on that at this point. We'll see. This guy's currently making a non-stop flight today in from Oakland and heading out to Las Vegas. Two critical routes here at the Sunport. Sorry about that, everybody. If I just put my phone on Do Not Disturb, I'll never have interruptions. But nevertheless, this Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 in the Heart livery with the blended winglets is currently making non-stop service today in from San Diego and continuing out to Austin Bertram International Airport. Really good routes there for Southwest. They're very successful, and I'm glad to see them doing well out of the main airport here in New Mexico. This Southwest Airlines 737 MAX 8 is currently making a non-stop flight in from Chicago Midway and continuing out to Houston Hobby. Glad to see Houston Hobby doing really well. And I'm excited to see where the progression of Hobby goes in the future. This Southwest Airlines 737-800 is currently pushed back with a non-stop service today out to Dallas Love Field. This guy came in earlier today from Los Angeles. Both very successful flights, really cool, especially that LAX service with all the competition. Glad to see that Southwest does so well, and I'm really excited to see how Southwest can build in the future because obviously they had so many routes in the 2000s, mid-2000s there. Obviously, once the recession happened, it was kind of backscaled, but hopefully they'll continue to build on it. I think that Burbank edition from last year is a really good one. I'm sure they can continue to grow here in the near future. Here we go with the really cool scene right here. So in the back, we have the Potique PC-12. This guy's currently heading out to Carlsbad, New Mexico. Another really cool EAS route, so I'm glad to get to represent that. There's the focusing on it right there. Well, I thought it was going to be. There we go. And currently hanging out here at A2, we have the United Express Embraer GTS 145 on the behalf of Commute Air. This guy's currently making the turnaround service out to Houston George Bush International Airport. This particular setup was requested by Citrus Aviation. He got to visit Albuquerque probably about a month ago at this point. Well, 2 months ago when I'm filming this, excuse me, my bad. Probably about 2 months ago at this point, and he wanted me to feature it. So really cool to get to see that. He got to check out the Sunport, and he provides some awesome photos. So I'll definitely be sure to feature those right now.
Alrighty guys, so here we go with those pictures, including a Commute Air United Express Embraer J-145 docked up here. I believe this is Gate Alpha 2 if I'm not mistaken, coming in from Houston, I believe, on turnaround service. So nice to see the infrastructure here at the gate. One of the most unique parts, and I'm still thinking about doing this perhaps possibly in the future, is those really cool teal jet bridges. I think those are so cool at Albuquerque, of course, but nice to get to see the mountain back there, which looks really cool. We also got a fuel truck over there on our left. What appears to be a GPU there in front of us, could be wrong on that, but some sort of unit right there. And also a really cool pushback tug, which is also very cool to see, and a truck on the ramp too. So certainly nice picture here at Albuquerque, and glad to get to see this. And then here's some infrastructure pictures of the airport, including the very unique design of the terminal. Really gives you that southwestern vibe, so very cool to get to see that. And as we talked about previously, very excited to see the renovated terminal design they'll be going for here in the near future. So looks like we got Alpha 4 down there on the left. So this appears to be facing the, I think this would be the east side, pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. So certainly cool to get a reminder of this, as we saw it many years ago in the Tripport at this point. Here's a picture looking out to the west, I believe, and it appears that we have Alpha 3 right there. You can really see the southwestern vibe seats right there too, which is really cool. Really cool airport in general. You can really get the vibe going. I love the wood ceiling there too. That's really nice. So many great elements to take a look at there. So that's fantastic. We also have a picture here, what appears to be some sort of restaurant. I'm not seeing a name anywhere. So certainly cool to get to this picture as well. Appears to be an elevator there on that blue unit, which is pretty interesting, and nice variety throughout. So thank you, Citrus. I appreciate you sending in these pictures, and with that, we'll get back to the update.
So I very much appreciate him submitting these photos here for the local fan pictures. So feel free, if you ever have any pictures or anything that you'd like to show on these videos, to send them over my way, and I'll do my best to get them on here for you guys. But yeah, he got the visit due to his new job at Commute Air, so that's fantastic for him, and I hope that he thoroughly enjoyed it. But thanks for sending them in, buddy. I appreciate it. And like I said, this guy's currently making the Houston turn. Commute Air is a really cool airline, and I'm glad that they're making a nice presence here at Albuquerque. So just like many other mid-sized cities in the United States. So this is looking fantastic. Sorry if I blew through that a little bit fast. I'm a little bit on time crunch unintentionally, and the interruptions do not help that. So nevertheless, let's get started with this, because this is by far probably the biggest lineup of charters slash, you know, differences slash maintenance and just all kinds of stuff I've ever had in one particular update. So yes, you're currently seeing this frame correctly. We have 6 aircraft that are not normally supposed to, well, one's new, but I'll have to explain that here in a moment, but 5 aircraft particularly that are not normally here. So most of this took place in December, by the way, so this is a little bit behind. Some of this was even back in as far as November, so I'm sorry that this is kind of far back, but nevertheless I wanted to represent all of this because there's some really cool planes to be had here. So let's get started with this. Yes, so there's 5 of these. Now, this all just happened, and I just saw this all on the flight board, and it just all kind of came crashing down at once, because I was initially anticipating that the Delta 321, the Salt Lake City, was going to be the coolest element of this update, but that surely changed in a hurry. So 2022 wrapped up really nicely, and you guys can definitely see it with this frame. So let's just get started from left to right here with these aircraft. Okay, so this is representing a Keeneline Air Embraer ERJ-135. Unfortunately, I did not have the time, nor I couldn't find my fine tip Sharpie to be able to detail this up a little bit, so I apologize about that. Nevertheless, this guy was coming in from Longview, Texas, and continuing out to San Jose, California. Not particularly sure what the reason was. It was a really cool livery. It had, I think, a green and black stripe on it. Haven't seen anything quite like that, but if you guys don't know, Keeneline Air actually owns the brand Denver Air Connect and also other Embraer 135s that are used for, I think, private and corporate operations, which is very cool. So I thought I would represent this because it's a really cool flight right here. And sorry that I wasn't able to get this aircraft detailed up. I might make it into that Keeneline because that looks like a really cool plane. So very cool to get to see that. That was on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday or Sunday, December 3rd or 4th. I think it was the December 3rd, but really cool to get to see this. And this is coming in the evening and continuing out there. Very cool flight. I'm not exactly sure why, but nevertheless really cool. JSX is not regularly filed to Albuquerque, as you guys probably know, but this was a really cool flight. This was a JSX Embraer ERJ-135 operating this. Thought my 145 was a little bit cleaner for the situation, so that's why we have this here. This guy's currently making non-stop service today in from Tucson, Arizona, and he's actually still on the ground as of filming, so I'm not sure where he ended up going to. If I had to guess, probably out the Dallas Love Field or something like that. So really cool to see JSX here. I think they would be a really cool airline for Albuquerque out of the FBO. I think that they could definitely do really well at the Dallas Love Field, and possibly even a flight to like Phoenix or something like that. I think that would be really cool, or possibly an unserved market like Reno or something. I think they could definitely find a groove here at Albuquerque. So Orange County, I think, would also be another very successful one for JSX. So I'm really eager to see what they could do in the future. I definitely think there is quite a bit of potential here for JSX at the Sunport. So it's a really cool appearance to see him here. Maybe it was a charter of sorts. Not completely sure, but nevertheless, this guy is currently making that flight in from Tucson. Very cool to get to see that right here. And this charter operation is just pretty crazy, to be honest. A little bit more of a commonplace aircraft is the Sun Country 737-800. This was likely a casino charter. This guy's making a nonstop flight in from Longview, Texas as well. And this guy's going to be making it out to Bled City in Nevada, right next to the Arizona-California border. So glad to get to see this aircraft making it in here today. I'm pretty sure, like I said, this is probably a casino charter because Bled City is home to some of the bigger casinos, and they did that out of Tulsa for a long time. These have here and there came through Albuquerque, I think, for casinos. This is not a sports charter to my knowledge. So glad to get to see this. Like I said, he's out to Bled City coming in from Longview. Probably going to be the Tide livery, but it may end up being the blue one, so I'm not sure because it hasn't came in as of filming, but it is scheduled. So really cool to get to see that, and glad to see that people want to go on that flight to the casino. So glad to get to see that right there. And like I said, this guy's heading up to Blood City, came in earlier today from Longview, Texas. Very nice. Alrighty, so Air Force 2 makes another appearance. So this is once again going to be subbing in for Air Force 1 because I do not have a VC-25, unfortunately. I really hope to get one at some point. But nevertheless, here is Air Force 1, I guess, on Air Force 2. This is the this is the C-32A, I believe. Or, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they titled these as, something like that. The President 757, sorry, it's been a long time since I've looked into this, but I'm pretty sure it's the C-32. It's something like that. Nevertheless, this is serving as Air Force One as President Biden, not to get political, but just saying why this aircraft was here. This aircraft came in, I believe, from Washington, D.C. This aircraft was coming in because President Biden was speaking during the midterms here in Albuquerque, which was very cool to get to see. So, yeah, I was coming in to speak during the midterms. Not too much to get into on that because I don't want to offend anybody or any of that sort of thing, and I'm not really educated on politics anyways. All I did was just go and Google, figured out what he was here for, and he was here for the midterms, so to talk about that. So President Biden was here for the midterms. Really cool to get to see Air Force One here for the second time in 5 months. Pretty rare occurrence for an airport like Albuquerque, and it's very unique to get to see something like that. So glad to see that the president was able to make it out here to New Mexico. No matter what the political views are, I will say that seeing some sort of plane like this is always pretty cool, and I think everybody can probably agree on that. So glad to get to see this here, but like I said, this guy's currently making that non-stop flight today in from Washington, D.C., and I think he actually went on somewhere else. Not exactly sure where, but really cool you get to see that. Very unique appearance, and you love to get to see it. Alrighty, so this Delta Airlines Boeing 757-200 is also hanging out as our last special visitor, which is just crazy to think about. We kind of have one more, but it's more of not like an actual situation. But nonetheless, this Delta Airlines Boeing 757-200 November 819 Delta X-Ray. This guy was coming in from the Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, was trying to head out to Los Angeles, but unfortunately, the second engine, Pratt & Whitney 2037, unfortunately had some sort of issue, and they had to take it off. Huge shout out to Citrus Aviation for letting me know not only about Air Force One, but also about the Delta 757. So he's probably, I want to clarify this for him because he's probably wondering why I decided to park it over here. I don't have a ramp area over here, but he did tell me, and thank you for letting me know so I could let everybody else know. Please ignore that. That is an absolute disgrace. That the aircraft was parked at a 45-degree angle opposite of the Southwest Gate A11, that's it. So it's somewhere in the ballpark of right here. Unfortunately, I wanted to put it right there initially, but when all this other stuff started coming in, I thought I would group it with all the other special visitors so that they got all be in one place. So that's why I decided to put it here, but nevertheless, looking really cool, and it's very cool that this was here for a couple days, even though it was unfortunate for the engine failures. Like I said, number 2 engine, you can kind of see what I have represented there to kind of simulate that, was removed in a new, either a new engine or parts or something came in for the Pratt & Whitney 2037. So very interesting to get to see this here, and this ended up heading out to Los Angeles like it was supposed to, I think like 3 or 4 days late. So that was really crazy to get to see. But yeah, really cool to see a Delta 757 back on the ground for the first time in a long time. I'm very hopeful that Delta will maybe send this back to Albuquerque sometime, because I think it would be a really cool service to Atlanta particularly, but maybe we'll get in New York or something from them. That would be very cool. Probably not enough demand, but still very cool to think about. This is really cool to get to see in general, like I said, and it's really nice to get to see the Delta 757 making it in here. It's a fantastic airplane, and I absolutely love it. The NG Models version is really cool. I thought about ripping off that engine for the demonstration purposes, but I hate tearing up models, especially considering that antennas and all kinds of stuff are getting broken nowadays. So I decided to leave it. I think it was the right choice, but really cool to get to simulate this. Nevertheless, like I said, this guy's making a nonstop flight today in from Atlanta. Engine failure on, or not failure, but engine issue on the Pratt & Whitney 2037, and this guy's going to be heading back out to Los Angeles in a couple days once the new parts get in for that engine. So love to get to see you right there. New face here for Albuquerque. Finally a new cargo visitor, and I love to get to see this right here. Yes, this aircraft is actually going to have another use outside of my Phoenix model airport and also Great Plains. This is the Prime Air Boeing 737-800 by NG Models. This is a really nice model, and I highly recommend it if you are looking for it. This guy is currently making the non-stop service today in from Cincinnati, a brand new Prime Air service, and this guy's going to be heading back out there. So Prime Air has been working on a new facility over on the cargo ramp for about a year now, according to the Albuquerque Instagram. That finally got finished in early November, and now we have this. So I'm sorry that I'm a couple months late to the party, but I went on Flight Radar and I was like, man, why are there 2 Cincinnati flights coming in for Sun Country? Because it's operated by Sun Country. And I clicked on the picture, and I wish you guys could have saw my reaction. It was really funny, but my jaw dropped. I was like, dang. But it makes perfect sense, and I'm really excited to finally have more cargo here, diversity and variety here at the Sunport. Obviously, UPS and FedEx are your go-tos with all their services, but it's really cool to get Prime Air in here now, and hopefully the JC Wings 1-400 ATR gets made soon, because I believe those are still flying in for Fort Alliance. So, but nevertheless, this is a brand new service. It is flying every day from Cincinnati. It'll be really exciting to see how they can build on this service, and Prime is definitely going to be an expansion, a global force for years to come in the United States. I'm sure they're going to expand to more airports like Tulsa, Pensacola, that sort of thing, Reno, in the near future. But it's super cool to see Prime Air making their presence known here at the Sunport. And I'm really excited to see what they can do in the near future. Hopefully some additional routes and that sort of thing as well. So that is very exciting. I'm really excited for it, and I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. So like I said, this guy's coming in from Cincinnati, and I don't believe they have any other routes as of right now, but I'll be sure to update you guys when I see some new ones. So really cool to get to see that, and that is fantastic. Alrighty, the GA section, once again, like the previous update, got relocated, or that November update. So here we go. We got a Cessna 172. This guy's currently making a local flight around the area. You love to get to see that. We'll just call this the Beechcraft, but subbing in, of course, for the Silver Air flight to Silver City. No, it's not Silver Air. You guys know who I'm talking about. I just need to make the custom so I can get that going. And if I haven't made that by March for that update, because of Christmas break and everything, you guys are more than welcome to yell at me, because I got to get that done. We do have two Learjet 75s here, though. The green one's currently making the service in from Denver Centennial, continuing out the Van Nuys. And the red one, orange one, whatever that color is at this point, is coming in from Westchester County Airport. And this guy is going to be heading over to Stillwater, Oklahoma. Why not? Alrighty, so the cargo section, sorry about the cargo building. I accidentally forgot to get that in here because I was rushing to get this ready. Nevertheless, looking fantastic over here, though. We have the UPS Airbus E300 freighter getting ready to push nonstop service up to Ontario after coming in from DFW. Very consistent services there, and I'm really excited to see where UPS can go in the future, especially with some new competition from Prime Air. Prime Air's new gate will be right here, or actually might be this one, because this is usually our 757 gate if it wasn't taxing. So Prime Air's probably going to be parking here on the display, but we'll see what happens. And our two commonplace 767s, we love to see them. We have the UPS 767-300 freighter currently making that service in from Louisville and heading back out there. Very consistent service. And the FedEx Express Boeing 767-300 freighter, this guy's currently coming in from Memphis and heading back out there too. Getting the final cargo on board there. We love to get to see that as well. That's fantastic. Last but certainly not least, a couple planes taxiing out for departure at runway 8. This UPS Boeing 757-200 is making that nonstop service today out to El Paso after coming in from Dallas-Fort Worth as well. Dallas is one of those backbone routes for UPS since they have such a large establishment there. A McConnell KC-135 was coming in today for some training, so this guy's heading back out to McConnell Air Force Base in Wichita, Kansas. So very cool to get to see this here, and I definitely hope to make it back up there soon because they have a very, very, very cool Air Force base. Last but certainly not least, taxiing on for departure is the Southwest Airlines 737-700 in the Missouri 1 livery, one of my favorites. This guy is currently taxiing on to the runway. This guy's a nonstop service today out to Burbank. This guy came in earlier today from Las Vegas International Airport, Harry Reid. So love to get to see that, and that is fantastic. What a way to kick off 2023, everybody. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I would normally do probably 10 minutes of talking, but I'm sure this update probably ended up being pretty long, and I don't have much time, unfortunately. So really great way to start out 2023. Like I said, absolutely incredible to get to see all these special visitors. It's really crazy to get to see them all here at once, but that's what happens when you pre-record, compile everything in the one update and that sort of thing. So also sorry I couldn't have the Air Force One there, the real one. That would have been a great way to top that off, but at least I have something there to represent it. But hopefully I'll be able to get something like that soon. I got E4B, so maybe in the future I'll put that there. That's kind of similar, but not quite. So I would really like to get a VC25 though, whether it's Dragon Wings or maybe a Gemini release or something. That would be really cool. As for the commercial air service, Albuquerque's doing great. That Salt Lake City edition is really nice, and I hope that will continue into the near future, so it's very exciting, in the indefinite future, preferably. Alaska services are going really well. Really interesting to note with JetBlue and Frontier, I'm not sure what is going on. The Las Vegas service is supposed to be year-round. It's not flying right now. I'm not sure why, so hopefully that'll be returning in the future. Maybe Spirit kicked them out, but they should be back. Denver's also seasonal now, according to the wiki, so we'll see what happens. I also need to check some websites and some long-term flight boards and that thing to figure out what's going on there, so I'll be sure to let you guys know on that. JetBlue, no clue. They might just be taking their typical intermission, but hopefully they'll be back in the near future as well. Americans doing very good. Like I said, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Dallas, and Chicago all doing really good, so I'm glad to get to see that. United's also doing really good with their services, predominantly a mix of mainline, especially to Denver, and then you also have the San Francisco and Chicago mainlines, while Houston's seeing a variety of predominantly mainline too. It's usually 3 flights, either 2 mainlines and 2 RJs, and then the other's a mainline or RJ. That's what you're seeing with this example, looking really good. Southwest, it's Southwest. They fly all their frequencies. They do really good, and I'm glad to get to see it here at the airport. GA has also been strong along with the cargo, like I was getting at earlier. I think also the fire tankers have also been going really strong. I think they have the MD-87 DC-10 too, so those have been really cool. A couple of long-term desires is obviously that custom needs to be made immediately, along with the FedEx feeder Cessna 208s. Very hopeful to get that done in the near future, because that will be fantastic and great additions to the airport. Really excited for 2023, just in general, and of course Albuquerque. Really crazy to think how far this airport came, and it's really cool to see all the different services like Delta services. Alaska's made tremendous progress. American United, especially from where they were when we started, compared to all those regional jets. Now it's a ton of mainline. Spirit, obviously, new face. We'd love to get to see that. Also, Allegiant. No clue. Can't really answer the question on that one, but hopefully they'll be back soon too. Southwest has added some new routes, and they've been very consistent and very committed to the Albuquerque Sunport. And then the cargo's obviously making tremendous progression, and plenty of special visitors too. So really excited to see what's come for Albuquerque. I hope you guys are as well. But with that being said, that will do for today's video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.